Okay, so you know, as far as I can tell, we're live, and I'm Rand Hoppe. I am I don't know, what am I? Acting executive director, founding trustee of the Jack Kirby Museum and Research Center.
I'm the president of the museum.
What is your name, sir?
Tom Kraft.
Tom Kraft, incredible. And
I'm Lisa Hoppe, volunteer.
Volunteer extraordinaire. Booth. Sir, I don't know. They're always at the booth at the convention. So, where are we and what are we doing? Well, we're celebrating what would have been Jack Kirby's 105th birthday this weekend. Tomorrow is August 28th. That's the day he was born. And I don't know. We're like over here at a train station. And what's the deal with the train station or the train tracks and the platform and all that? It's the train station Jack Kirby used for 20 years while he lived here on Long Island in Williston, East Williston, and it's the one that's closest to his house. It is walkable distance, and there is it's on a different. There's another train station. This is another train station in Mineola. Lisa's pointing. Get the sign. Where's the sign? There it is.
Well,
So,
over here, look.
what? Who?
Williston Station.
I know. I got it. It's right behind my head.
Oh, okay.
So what was I saying? Yeah. So this is a different line. There is another station in Mineola, which isn't quite walkable, but the trains might have ran more frequently. And I'm gonna turn. You don't need to see me. I'm gonna. So yeah. So this is the train. It's the choo-choo. So this is where Jack would come and head into the city. So, Lisa.
What year was that?
What's that?
What year was that?
Well, when he moved out here, what was it? 46, 47, 48, something like that. Up until 68, 69. For 20 years, he probably used this train station. Let's you want to hold that up in front of the camera? So here's a fun photo of Jack on the sitting on a train. It's not a subway train, so we're going to assume it's a Long Island Railroad, and it's just a kind of a cool photo. What's the next one? The next one is the fun one. So Derek Langeal, he's an illustrator and a designer, I believe, out in Calgary, Alberta, and he made this really cool version of Jack on the train back in for one of our Kirby Vision Kirby birthday celebrations back when Jason Garrettly was running the Kirby Vision blog pretty actively, and he would have a very active birthday celebration. So we're big fans of Derek's work there. And I went to look for this to print it out. We got a whole bunch of school buses over there. It's not great. But I went to go look for some of this image, and some people are using it without Derek's URL on it. So what the heck, man? Like you got to go and take that off. I don't know. It doesn't seem right. Anyhow, so Derek made a really cool thing, and we thank him for that because I don't know. It's great. So what else about the commute? Jack
Where was
Kirby's
he going
commute.
to commute?
Well, he was good question. Thanks for asking, Tom. No, he was heading into the city, into New York City, into Manhattan, and that would be Penn Station, and then either he would walk or take a subway to other places, like probably walk from the Penn Station to Marvel Comics,
Drop off art.
Yeah. Tell the editor what's in the story that he just worked on or whatever. I think he got himself to the point where he was going in once a week. Might have started out going in more frequently.
And then he'd have lunch in the city.
Have lunch in the city and then come home. And there are stories about sometimes Neil, his son, would go in with him. Probably some of the other kids might have gone in with him for a little bit of a daddy excursion. I'm going to put the camera on us. It's us. Yeah. So this is the beginning, and we're gonna go back. We're going back in time. So we're gonna go to the home that Jack and Roz and the family lived in for almost 20 years. And we're going to leave the camera running. And, you know, if you're out there and you're watching us and you have any questions or comments, please say hi or ask a question or something. And we look forward to hearing from you. So well, here we go. We're going to get into the vehicle and we're going to stream in the vehicle. I know. Never done so. Hi, Steve. Good to see you on YouTube, man. I'm not really working. Not really loving my big face, so I'm gonna. So yeah, so we're in Tom's fantastic vehicle here, and I have the gimbal running, and I guess I have to figure out how to put on my safety gear, my safety harness.
Why don't you put that in first and then put your...
All right. Well, next stop, Tom.
Is?
Oh boy, really? Okay. Is 367 Congress Avenue. I guess I will go back to in the car. And we're gonna head over and just kind of, you know, look around. I have a few things to say. We have a few more photos that Lisa can share.
Starting route to 367 Congress Avenue.
Best Vanna White style.
Head north on Sagamore Avenue, then turn right onto East Williston Avenue.
All right, madam. Here we go. We're driving. Hopefully, it's man, I kind of wish we could get us both in the
At the stop sign,
here.
turn right onto East Williston Avenue.
All right, so here we are in Williston.
In a quarter of a mile,
East
turn right
Williston.
onto Congress Avenue.
So
Actually, you could be showing it out.
This is the way that Jack would walk to the
we
subway, right?
gather so that he would walk to the Long Island Railroad this way. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're facing it in the corner.
All right, I'll turn it around. Okay. Yep. So, I mean, it's where are we? 4 or 5 blocks.
Turn
Yeah,
right
not a great
onto
sidewalk
Congress
here.
Avenue.
Not a great sidewalk action here. Oh, really? This is Congress, huh? Okay.
Yep.
We've been on Congress in the past,
In a
but we
quarter
did
of a
not
mile, the
come this
destination
way.
is on your right. 367 Congress Avenue.
Okay. So, I don't know, what was it, 10 years ago, Lise, we came by the house here?
Yes, I remember.
There's Nikki. Nikki's on YouTube. Hi, I know you're saying hi to Steve, but I appreciate you saying hi to Steve. So, all right, so we've
That's
got,
right.
yeah,
Must be
this
right
is,
there.
The destination is on your right.
it's on the right. This is it.
367 Congress Avenue.
All right.
Yep.
Hello, Jan.
Arrived.
67.
All right. Did you read the FF50 in English or was it in German? I'm just curious, Jan. So we might just stay here a while. Thanks. And maybe we'll walk to the next location. But so here is the this is the house that Jack and Roz and the family lived in for 20 years. And the fun story about that. So we have some stuff from comments from Roz from an interview with Ray Wyman, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Ray. So here's Roz saying, "We lived in Mineola." They did live in Mineola. Oh, Jan, that is so cool. So you read the FF50 in German from your uncle. Wow, I'd like to see that. Send me a snapshot of it sometime. So you know when we're gonna go to the first house that's in Mineola, and it's actually like 2 blocks away. But here's Roz talking about this house. we saw this large brick house going up, and Jack fell in love with it. And I said, we can't afford it. It was $22,000. And she said, you are out of your mind. It's too expensive for us. They had Neil by then. And so there was Sue and Neil, and they sold the other house and they bought this one. They put every cent they had into it. In fact, the first week we were so broke, I borrowed $50 from my mother for food money until Jack's next paycheck. So yeah, they were here for 20 years. And here's a picture of Jack and Roz, and I guess Sue and Neil on this lawn that we're standing in front of right now. And you could see in the picture this kind of the stone circle and the stone over the door kind of thing. And that is right there. And you can see even in that picture, bring that picture back.
Oh.
So there's the neighbor's smoke chimney. Thanks, Tom. Losing my words. So yeah, so
standing like right.
They were like standing right there. Yeah. Well, that's right, Jan. Jan's 2-year-old is wearing a shirt with some Marvel superheroes on it. So
Nice.
yeah, that's great, Lise. Thanks.
All right.
And what's next in the fantastic printouts that I whipped out this morning? So we're assuming that this pool, like it's one of those weird canvas pools that they used to have back in the day.
Probably was over to
It's
the
probably
left
right
of the house.
over, probably right over there.
That little
Yeah,
stone area.
yeah. So that's a fun image of Jack and Sue, I guess. I think I first saw this picture on the back of one of Greg Theakson's books, and I just loved it because the color. Great getting to see color photos of Jack and
Yeah,
the
at
family
that
back
time.
in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What else you got? What's next?
This is next.
Okay,
Well,
that's great. Yep. So there's Jack in the basement, also known as the dungeon. At least that's what it looks like to me, and it's a great shot. And that's where this took place. This is where the Marvel Comics universe was born, folks. Galactus, Silver Surfer, Hulk, everything, X-Men, everything came from this home. So yeah, there it is, and there's Jack doing it, and the basement is right here at Congress in East Williston. And then as I mentioned, 10 years ago, Lisa and I came here. There I am, 10 years ago. Look at me, so young.
With glasses on.
Glasses on, facial hair, the whole thing. I had to give up that shirt. It wore out. But you know, it's the tree is a little bit nicer. But we went to the racetrack, and then we decided let's go and visit Kirby's house. And what else? Oh, so Amy Bentley. I did some really great. Was doing some research for this event, and I guess we could walk a little bit. I don't know. It's kind of funny. Oh, the sun is good. And I can do this. So I was doing some research because we knew this house. We had an envelope from that was from Jack to Marvel Comics or vice versa, and so we had this address, and so we knew it, and that's how we were able to come here 10 years ago. But we didn't know this other house where they had originally moved here from. So I had done some research in some personal genealogy stuff with somebody that helped me out, Amy Bentley, and she really helped figure it out. And here's a property. This is a property card from the online database that kind of says here in the green. It says Jack Kirby and wife, and there's 367 Congress. So it kind of talks about the fact that it was brand new. They moved in 1948.
Cool.
So yeah, it was really great that Amy was able to help us with that. Yeah, and we'll see. We'll go around the corner and see, because this, as the story was told, right, was that and even Roz will say there's a quote coming up where we talk about the Simons and the Kirbys bought homes across the street from each other, and I was just having a little bit of a challenge making that fit with the records. So, do you want to, like, I don't know, you want to? All right, let's keep walking because it's nicer to walk.
Well, it's more interesting.
And it's
You get
not
to
that
see
far.
a little bit of the neighborhood.
See the neighborhood. This is the Jack Kirby's world, and
Yes,
you know.
probably over here was where the pool was.
Right, that pool. Yep. So, yeah. So this is what is it, Rosalie?
Yeah,
Rosalie. All right, one more block. I mean, this is, you know, it's not a Pleasant Valley Sunday, but it's a. I think we're heading into Mineola now. Just saying. I think we've just crossed a border from East Williston into Mineola. You can tell. It's that way on the map. So, this is yeah, it's actually kind of a warm, sunny day here on Long Island.
this is brown.
And this is Brown. So that's what we're that was always the story, that Jack and Roz moved to Brown, and the Simons moved to Brown, and they lived across the street from each other. So problem was, we didn't really have a good record, like a piece of correspondence or anything from the Kirby address. So but we did have a letterhead from the Simon and Kirby studio that pointed us at 141 Brown, which is where I'm pointing right now. And I've lost track of this stuff. Hang on. So, oh, you know what? I left out this one other thing. Let's see. Take the first sheet. All right. Oh, there was a whole bunch of stuff that we should have talked about back there at Congress.
Oh, we're going to be back there.
We'll be back there to get in the car, so we'll bring it back. So this is where Joe Simon lived when he moved, and
Which one?
this
The white
right
one?
here. Yeah, that's 141. And can you take the top page here too? Okay, so Amy, so we had the 141, but we weren't able to figure out the Kirby address
The
until.
number's on the house right there.
Yeah, it says 141 on it. Yeah. So, so we were able to, we were pretty happy with that, but we couldn't find the place across the street. And here's Roz and Jack, again with Ray Wyman. So we got the veteran loans and put down payments on one. Joe and Harriet got right across the street. We lived right across the street from each other. Our children were brought up together. We were very close at the time. And then Jack says, in fact, there was a big snowstorm in '48, and we were caught in Joe's house. We were having a social evening. No, I was home and you were working with Joe in the attic, Roz said. He had the attic studio. So there's up there in the attic is where Joe worked. And he said, Kirby goes, oh yeah, I was stuck there, and I had to practically dig a tunnel to get home just across the street. The snow was up to our necks. And that's where they did a lot of work, at Joe's house in the attic. So this is... So go ahead, Lise, put that up there. So there's Jack and Joe in what looks like Joe's attic. And I think there's another one of them up there too, right? Yeah, so another promo shot, and doing their suburban style. So that all probably took that place there. And as I was kind of babbling on earlier, we weren't able to figure out the Joe where Jack lived across the street. We didn't have any records. So Amy dove in and found this property record. And what was weird about it? Go ahead. Yeah. What was weird about it was that it said if you could see up at the top where it says 143, and then here it says Brown Street and Congress. So we got a little confused that it might have been 143 Brown, but there is no 143 Brown, and 143 Brown is not across the street from 141. So we dove in a little bit more, and then we realized that what they were saying was that this address on Brown Street was actually on the corner of Congress, and the number is actually 333 Congress. It was Jack and Roz moved in, and then they sold it like a year later or 2 years later, and this is 333 Congress right over here. So this is the place that where they first moved, and as I had that quote from Roz, it was like they watched this other place being built with bricks, and they fell in love with it. So they made the move from this place to the other place.
They weren't directly across the street.
Well, they're across the street.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
you got to cross the street,
Yeah,
but
not
directly across the street. That's right. So it was kind of. It's kind of cool. And then let's take a look at, there's a few more pictures for this. Oh yeah, so there's this one, which is Jack and Roz and Sue, I'm assuming, and Joe and Harriet, and a nice doggy. And there, if you look, it could have, well, it wouldn't have been this patio. It was probably the patio over there.
Yeah, because that used to be brick and they painted it.
Probably used to be, yeah, it used to be. Let's go snooping a little bit closer and just be sure. And we gotta.
Oh, you think it's over that one?
That's the home.
Oh,
So it's that's definitely a similarity there. Again,
yeah, that
even,
looks like the wall.
so there's the wall and the door and stuff.
Oh.
Dun,
Yep.
dun, dun. It's not a very well developed photograph.
Yeah.
I think kind of
Obviously redid the door.
yeah. I mean, how many years has it been? So so that's our adventure here, and there were some more great quotes from that Tom has from Jack and Roz talking about where they lived for 20 years around the corner. So let's go back there and just get in front of it and take a look at what's going on. If you have any questions or you want to say hi, we'd love to hear from you. And we've been fun to hear from Jan in Germany. So Jan, sorry. But doing the best we can here, and this is a fun ad hoc kind of wandering here and live streaming. Oops, sorry. So let's see. Yeah, so here's Roz saying, that we lived in that house for 20 years. And then we have this next interview with Jack, and Jim Van Hise says, I lived in Long Island, in East Williston, in central Long Island. It was a nice town in which to raise children. I bought a house there. It was a lovely little town. Oh, Steve says the YouTube feed is not working, but Facebook is. Well, if you're, hopefully, I don't know, that's kind of a drag, I have to say. I tried to set it up, but, I'd never really done it before. So, it was a lovely little town. You could walk across it in 5 minutes. I raised all of my children there. And then Jim Van Hise says, unlike other Marvel staffers who worked at the office, Jack labored at home. I had a little dungeon-like basement, and I worked there. I bought a big moose head for about $5 and put it up on the wall. If you patted that moose head, a big dust cloud would come out. And it was a wonderful place to work because I could create the stories and the characters there. When you're alone And you can think that's all an artist writer wants. And then you can reach out for new things. It's not just a matter of telling stories and selling books. It's a matter of not being static. I never remained static. I always looked for new things and new characters and new ways of telling a story. So here's a little bit more about the commute. I'm alone in my studio every day. Nobody tells me what to write or what to draw, and that's the way it was at Marvel. I'd come in once or twice a month. I enjoyed coming into Marvel because on the way there I would meet people such as Jack Dempsey, prize fighters. I met Xavier Cugat, the orchestra leader, one time. I would come off the Long Island Railroad and take a cab. Well, there you go. The New York cab situation is so bad I'd get out and walk. You'd meet Jack Dempsey coming out of his hotel and I'd have conversations. He was a wonderful guy. I'd go into restaurants and meet former prize fighters and people in show business. I have an affinity towards those people. And that's Jack talking about his commute from East Williston onto the Long Island Railroad. So yeah, so 26 minutes here in Nassau County. Disappointing that the YouTube feed is not working. You want to fire up your phone and check the YouTube? Just confirm I'm sure Steve is not making up things, but it'd be interesting to see it. I did do the mutual did do the streaming thing.
I had it, well, you know what, I think I have it here.
No, that's Facebook.
I'm going to go back to YouTube.
Okay.
I have to search, right?
No. Let me see if I can do it. There we go. No, maybe it isn't happening. That's too bad.
Today.
Oh, that's not what I want. Go back. Go there. No. They're still waiting for us. Oh, that's too bad.
Oh.
So, I don't know why that's happening. Maybe we will cancel. Maybe we will stop this rather than drive for an hour. We'll stop the feed and see if I can fire it up again for the Brooklyn adventure, since we're going to head over to Kings County, Brooklyn, and make that happen. So yeah, stay tuned. And this is the Jack Kirby Museum. Wacky first time ever driving around live streaming, and I think that's probably the thing to do, because I don't know, an hour in the car just doesn't if we have an opportunity to not do an hour in the car on the live stream, maybe that's better. So check out the feed again, or the page again, and we'll see what we can do to make it happen. All right, folks. Let's yeah, that's really too bad.
Well, we could try to bring it back when we get there.
Yeah, I'll try to bring it back. So we're gonna leave here. I'm gonna get in the car and we're gonna take off and we're gonna head to Brooklyn, and we'll fire up the stream again. So we'll see you then. All right, folks. Thanks.